Right guys, what I've done, if you can just see in there, stuck some Velcro in there. Oh yeah, and obviously finished all the 4 tyres. I've got these 4 to do next. I've still got plenty of tape left. I haven't even used half of it. Yeah. And I got a bit of a problem. Oh, so yeah, sorry, I'm just, yeah. So what I've done, bit of Velcro on there, so my receiver can sit on there and it's not going anywhere. So did the job fantastic, and luckily for me, even though it's cheap, only cost £1 for those 2. You get a meter. Even though it's cheap, it's really sticky. So that's one thing I was worried about, is that the stickiness would be a bit crap because it's so cheap. But it's all right. It's all right. Full length of Velcro in there, and I did put a full length of Velcro on the battery, but I couldn't get it out once I put it in there. it was so good I couldn't get it out, so I had to cut this bit off here. So all I need is this tiny little bit. Like literally, it's about the size of my thumb. It's probably only about 1 inch long. But yeah, that there is enough to hold it in there, and I mean it does not come out. It does not come out. One thing I do have to do is keep the battery to the top and then slide it in, then let it go down. So I haven't really sort of got my hands in there and pushed it down firmly, but look, that fucker ain't going nowhere. This is compounded by the fact that I can only use one hand. Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Go on. I need to use my other hand. Give me the battery back. Oh, it's doing it. Oh. Congratulations, you've got a baby battery. But yeah, just that little inch, you can see how good the Velcro is, and it was stuck on there pretty bloody easy as well. It's awesome stuff. Exactly what I wanted this stuff to do. But yeah, I know if you look in there, you've got that little, back plate here, look, with the bit of foam on it. This thing up here. So the battery slides in there and it basically doesn't come out because of that little flap. But I have been experiencing plastic on aluminum does like to slide out, so bit of a pain. So yeah, I'm really chuffed that it's decent stuff as well, not bad for £1, or if you like $1.20, not bad for a metre of it as well. Anyway, so yeah, there is a bit of bad news, right? I did take off the 16 and I did put on the 22. Now with the 50, you can't see it, with the 50 spur and the 22 pinion, there's just not enough adjustment. There we go. There's just not enough adjustment down here to get the correct spacing on the teeth, so it grinds. It's just too tight. And I've had problems with the 46s. Now, I've got a sneaky feeling, because this is a V12 saloon, if you like, 200mm wheelbase. Now, I think these 46s, I think these are actually for the mini stock, which is 175mm wheelbase. So I don't think these are designed to fit on that drive shaft, axle, whatever. So these are not going on very easy. I even tried, I don't know if you can see, I even tried drilling it out to try and get it to fit. You see how it's got those little bumps on the inside? I drilled them out on this one. So then I have the problem of this just it now goes on, but it spins on the axle. So it's a really stupid idea. But I got a funny idea. These 46s are for the minis, not the saloons. Yeah, so I'm going to have a little think, a little regroup and a little think and see what I can do with these. It might be a case of, as the axle is, you got this little spacer in here. You can take that off and put a gear on it, put a spur on there. So what I was thinking is, if I can put a spur on both sides of this, what I might do is take off this side and then sand it down to fit one of these on it. Just sand down the flat mounting parts. So it's basically a smaller diameter, and then hopefully it might actually fit. And I can't break it because I'll have this side still with the 50 on it. All I've got to do is take the axle out, flip it over and put it back in. Then I can run the 46. But I don't know yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. It's an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. So yeah, a bit of a pooper about the pinion and spur gears. But other than that, it's... Oh yeah, one more pooper. I still don't have any lacquer. And it turns out that the eBay person I bought it off, they refunded me this morning, and obviously it's not going to arrive. So I was like, well, thanks for that. You've wasted like 3 weeks of my life. Well, 2 weeks of my life waiting for this bloody lacquer, and you haven't even sent it. And you didn't, they didn't issue me a refund until I asked for it. So it's like, well, wow, thanks. I've just lent you money for the past 2 weeks. Oops, sorry. How long has my finger been stuck there? But anyway, they basically lent me... I've basically loaned them money for the last 2 weeks while they pissed about spending it and doing whatever they want. But as I said, I went on my eBay this morning to see what's going on, and they've issued me with a refund, because it was meant to turn up. The latest date on the delivery was meant to turn up 2 days ago, and it hasn't. So I put in one of those requests for you know, sort of put in a request for my money back, and they issued me my money back this morning. So I've now got to order another one, so it could be another 2-3 weeks. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is focus on these pinion and spur gears, see if we can get one of these to fit. It might be a case of just get hold of a mini stock drive shaft, because even though they're shorter wheelbase, they're still the same width. So I should get away with just replacing the drive shaft or axle, whatever you want to call it, and it might just slide in and fit. I don't know, because obviously this has got mounting brackets inside this tube. So obviously, if the mini axle is thinner, then it won't fit in this. So as I said, I need to do some research and find out what's going on. I've still not mounted the ESC, as this is why, because you've got these deep grooves down it, the heatsink if you like. So I don't know if this is going to be that easy, but I've got it pre-made up, and basically I'm going to stick it there and have it facing that way. So obviously the receiver's there, so I can put that into the receiver, put that into the battery cable comes out of here. And obviously the motor cables match up nicely, and then I can still reach the set button if anything goes wrong. I need to reset it. So yeah, yeah. So not much has happened. Yeah. So as I said, I've got no lacquer. The 22 and the 50 don't fit, and the 46 don't fit on the axle. So I'm still stuck on the 1650. Was it 3.2 ratio? This is still going to go faster than the standard one, because we've upgraded the RPM of the motor, so it should still go faster. But we're not going to achieve, as it is, we're not going to achieve the 80 miles per hour that I wanted to achieve, which is a bit of a bummer. But as I said, I've still got to. This stuff is awesome. It might look dodgy to most people, like, oh my god, how are you going to fit the tape on the wheel and then the tyre over the tape without getting... And it actually works easier than you think. It really is. So I've got to do those 4 as well. what I'm thinking about doing is, if you have a look, oh, wow, the ground clearance, can't even fit my finger under there. As you see, it sort of seems to be a bit like that. And I've fiddled and fiddled and fiddled with this adjustable suspension, these adjustable springs here. I've fiddled with it and fiddled with it, and I've made the suspension on the rear harder, but it still seems to sag downwards, which is a bit strange. And the suspension on the front seems to be really hard. So another little thing I might want to do, I might do, is see if I can get hold of some softer front springs. And I'm thinking, if these 30mm wheels, because your standard one's like 38, 39mm, I mean that fits inside the wheel no problem. If these little ones have a smaller radius tyre as well, I might put them on, get a set of these, put them on the front and just lower the front a little bit. Because the problem with the car being up in the air like that is obviously the wind's going to catch it, and I really don't want that to happen. I'm trying to keep it glued to the floor and not bloody take off like an aeroplane. So yeah, bit of a pain, but you know, luckily we've got all the electronics sorted. Everything electronically is sorted now.